Dear colleagues, we are glad present for you our research principles of effective function and training system of future teachers of natural and mathematical science for STEM and technologies usage. In order to ensure the effectiveness of the training system for future natural and mathematical science teacher in the use of STEM technologies in the educational process, it is necessary to define the essentially support on scientific basis of a set of principles for the application. The system of preparing future teachers of natural science and mathematical for the application of STEM technologies must meet the needs of society and solve the problems in facts. Their challenges are common to all countries, including Ukraine. Reduced interest in the exact profession of science and engineering, growing demand of qualified technicals and researchers, the development of producing of the basics in the introducing of the latest equipment, technologies and materials. The training process for the future teachers of natural science and mathematics in the context of the application of STEM education also has certain features. First, is it possible to implement the disciplinary as long as the future professor of the natural science and mathematics doesn't acquire in-depth knowledge of the disciplines from which integration takes place. So it is program of training future teachers of natural science and mathematics to use the basic disciplines. STEM technologies must precede all the office and the scientific times must be given to master them. Secondary, there is a need for participant and experience, especially the implementation of project activities. This experience is acquired by the future teacher in the relations of the different exercise throughout independent works in labor classes and practices in different types of repression of thought the relation of project activities during the training with encouraged them to think about the problems related to their training. Thirdly, it is very important to socialize and adapt to the future teacher of natural science and mathematics in the professional cycle, with enable him to form apologize professional behavior, compares himself or therefore, it is necessary to create an apologized motivation fund, stimulating their psychological readiness to learn as well as to form an activity and positive attitude towards technology in future professional activities. Thus, the principles of education will be regulated and regulations that determine the requirements for the organization of the training system. In order to determine all the principles of the organization of the training system for future teachers, it is necessary to take into account the requirements of principles as scientific category. The formulation of the principles should take into account objectively exciting pedagogical models and trends objectively exciting of the development of the phenomenon under consideration. All principles should aim at solving the research problem while determining in general direction, guidelines and strategy for the implementation of the research process. The principles should act as system training factors affecting and all component of the training system for future teachers in natural science and We have defined a set of principles that will contribute to the effective implementation of the training system for future science and mathematics teachers to apply STEM technology in professional activities. The set we defined included the following principles: the principle of personalization, conclusion, self-organization. We show some of these principles. Thus, the principles of personalization in the training of the future masters in science and mathematics for the use of STEM technology in professional activities implies taking into the account of individual philological characteristics, age, and their individual characteristics of any future science and mathematics teachers. According to this principle, every future professor of natural science and mathematics. The principle on cognitive activity implies the formation of future teachers of natural science and mathematical disciplines are constitutes attitude towards learning, understanding the general objective of special classes, and takes to activity their objective, as well as the development of a strong desire for self-knowledge and self-improvement, of offers a mindful and creative approach to mastering the knowledge necessary for the application of STEM technologies in their professional activities. The cognitive activity of the future teachers of natural science and mathematics is facilitated by the explanation of purpose and tasks that the principles of self-organization presuppose the needs of change in the process of preparing the role of the future teacher of natural and mathematical science from the one who teach to one who learns. In this case, the self-organization of the future teachers is directly linked to his self-education of the most. The principle of the formation of valuable graduates presupposes the need to train future teachers of natural science, mathematics, and disciplines of relevant values combined with the use of STEM technologies in future professional activities. In view of the principles of value guidance training, it will ensure advances of the dominant need. The principle of cooperation and mentoring involves the organization of inter-subject relation, including teamwork and community in education, which is achieved throughout the exchange of experience in the use of STEM technologies in professional activity between teachers of three economics practice. To implement the above principles, we have formulated requirements for the course in the accordance with the educational needs for future teacher. The content of the course should correspond to the level of technology development and encourage students to use new approaches in practice. The content task should have practice of significance, and the results of the implementation should be a completed product. The tasks are created and aimed at a comprehensive solution to the problem. Elements of course tasks, service, etc. Clarity to criteria and requirements of project preparation, its evaluation, and availability of all didactic materials are aimed at increasing motivation to learn. Each complete project. Students should be able to influence the development of course, express their wishes for the project work for the level complexly. There should be project for the organization Of the basics of the study, we defended 12 principles to respect of which will contribute to the effective implementation of the training system of the future teacher of natural science and the mathematics for the use of STEM technologies in professional activities. The set of principles that we defined include the principle of personalization, principle of conclusion cognitive activity, self-organization, formation of value operation, and others.